Stay safe, stay healthy at home. So I am starting the next and last chapter of light, that is spectrum. Alright. So before knowing about the spectrum, we have to first understand what is the deviation suffered by a light ray when it is passing through a prism. Alright. So here you see, when the light ray is falling on the surface of the prism, then this is the original path. Alright. But if you draw the perpendicular, then it will bend towards the normal. So it will bend and it will fall on the second surface. So you see, this is the deviation of light suffered due to refraction on the first surface of the prism. Alright. So I am denoting this angle by delta 1. This is the original path and this is the refracted path. Then secondly, when it will fall, let us name it as ABC. Secondly, when it is falling on the second refracting surface AC, then again it will move away from the normal and it will move like this. So you see, if I just extended this line, what is the angle of deviation here? Angle of deviation is delta 2, this one. Is that clear? Now, if I extend the emergent ray in the backward direction, then you see the emergent ray, it is meeting the original path along at this point. So you see, this angle is the total angle of deviation. Clear? The light ray suffering deviation twice. Delta 1 is the first deviation, delta 2 is the second deviation, whereas delta is the total deviation. Now look at the geometry of the diagram. If this angle is delta 2, this is vertically opposite angle. I am writing it here, no space there. So let it be delta 2. Now look at the triangle. Okay, let us name it PQR. If you consider the triangle PQR, delta is the external angle, whereas delta 1 and delta 2 are the internal opposite angle. So one can write what is the total deviation. Total deviation is given by delta 1 plus delta 2. Is that clear? So this diagram you must practice at home, showing the deviation 2 times, and this diagram also giving you the relation between the total deviation and the angle of deviation. Is that clear? Now, next one is factors on which delta depends. Alright, means angle of deviation when light is suffering refraction through a prism depends. Factors on which delta depends. What is the first factor? Already, means if I draw a perpendicular here, this is the angle of incidence. So the first factor is angle of incidence I. Is that clear? And this one already we studied in the last chapter. What is how delta depends on I? We can understand it from this graph, that if you plot delta versus I graph, then you will observe that when I increases from a small value, then first of all delta decreases, and then for only one value of I, delta becomes minimum. After that, if you increase the angle of incidence, what happened to delta? Delta increases. Alright. So how delta depends on angle of incidence? What is the first point? Verbally I am saying. Here 3 points you have to write. Kindly note it down in the study material copy. Slowly I am dictating it. How delta depends on angle of incidence? First point, write down. For small values of I, when I increases, delta decreases. Starting with small value of I, when I increases, delta decreases. That is the first point. Means from here to here you have written. I is increasing, delta is decreasing. Then second point, put the second asterisk and write. For only one value of I. Don't write for only sorry, for only one value of I, delta becomes minimum. Please underline the term only one value of I. For only one value of I, delta becomes minimum. Then third point, after that, when I increases, delta increases. And those who are unable to write all these three statements in sentences, I advise them, you please draw only the graph. If you draw only the graph properly, correctly, then also you will get the full marks. Clear? Next. What is the second factor on which angle of deviation depends? Angle of deviation depends on the angle of the prism. Alright, angle of the prism A. How does it depend? If angle of prism increases, delta increases and vice versa. How to write? That if A increases, then delta increases and vice versa. Is that clear? So, this is the second factor on which angle of deviation depends. Third factor on which delta depends is refractive index of the material of the prism. Let us denote it mu. Alright. So, if mu increases, then delta increases and vice versa. What does it mean? It means if you increase mu, then if you take the material such a manner that mu is increasing, then angle of deviation suffered by that particular prism will increase. So you can write if mu increases, delta increases, and if mu decreases, delta decreases. That is the meaning of vice versa. But kindly do not write they are directly proportional. I am warning you. Do not write directly proportional. Just write if mu increases, then delta increases and vice versa. Then fourth factor is color or wavelength of light used. This is the most important factor. Color or wavelength of light used. Alright. How does it depend? Let us find it out. Now you know that for red color wavelength is maximum and the violet color wavelength is minimum. And we know that refractive index, it is given by this relation. Means refractive index, it depends on wavelength. So from this relation it is clear, if wavelength increases then refractive index decreases. Therefore refractive index for red color it is minimum, whereas refractive index for violet color it is maximum. From this relation it is coming. Is that clear? Now, in the previous one, what we have seen, if mu increases, delta increases, and if mu decreases, delta decreases. So, if I apply the same here, what you can write, that deviation suffered by the red light will be minimum, whereas deviation suffered by the violet light will be maximum. Is that clear? Now, these three steps is the most important step, concept-wise also, question-wise anyway. It is the most important concept. So, you must remember these three steps. Is that clear? So, if you consider all the three steps, what you can write, that if lambda increases, then delta decreases. Is that clear? If lambda increases, then delta decreases. Again I am saying don't write inversely proportional. Write this way, that if lambda increases, then delta decreases and vice versa. Or better to write these three steps. Clear? Red color of wavelength of red color is maximum. Therefore refractive index for red color is minimum. Therefore red color suffers minimum deviation through a prism, whereas violet color suffer maximum deviation through a prism. Now next topic is dispersion. Alright. So we have, if you consider just the previous discussion, what we have learned, that when a polychromatic light means, when poly means many, chrome means color, so polychromatic light means what? A light where different colors are present. Alright, more than one color is present. And what is the example of that one? Polychromatic light, that is white light. Means the light we are getting from sun, the light we are getting from any luminous body. That is the polychromatic light or white light. So if white light is allowed to fall on a prism, this diagram also very important, so please follow how I am drawing the diagram. Although without scale I am drawing the diagram by free hand, but when you will draw the diagram, use the scale. So you see, let us consider that a light, this is white light, polychromatic light is falling on the prism. Then holding the scale in the same position, you must draw the original path of the light by dotted line. Is that clear? Now you see what will happen when the light will fall on the prism, then different color will suffer different amount of deviation. So as different color will suffer different amount of deviation, they will no longer stay together. Alright, because deviation are different. So what will happen? You will see that it will be splitted into 7 colors. Alright, I am not drawing all the 7 colors. I am just drawing the extreme end color, that is red and violet. So it will be splitted into red and violet color. Now here 2 things you have to follow, that when you will draw the red and violet color, they should not go above the original path. They should be below the original path, and take care that both the rays should bend towards the base of the prism, because that is the physics behind the refraction through a prism. Light always bends towards the base of the prism when the refractive index is higher. Then what will happen? Again they will suffer refraction, and again they will bend towards the base of the prism. So you see what is happening here. If you put a white screen, then what you will get? On the screen you will get 7 bands of colors. The 7 bands of colors given by this one word VIVGEO. Already all of you know. So red, R is red, and O is orange, and then Y is yellow, G is green, B is blue, I is indigo, and V is violet. So what you will get? You will get 7 colored band on the white screen. Clear? So this phenomena of splitting of white light into its constituent color while passing through a prism, within bracket you can write refracting surface, is known as dispersion. You must write down the definition of dispersion. I am repeating it. So you must write down what is the definition of dispersion, and you should learn it, prepare it for your board exam. So what is dispersion? Splitting of white light into its constituent color while passing through a prism, within bracket refracting surface, comma, is known as dispersion. Clear to everyone? Next is, what is the cause of dispersion? Another frequently asked question. What is the cause of dispersion? The simple cause is, you will write this way, that wavelength of red is maximum, therefore refractive index of red is minimum, therefore deviation suffered by red is minimum. So first of all you will write down these 3 steps. Alright, then next you write down, putting the asterisk. So different colors suffer different amount of deviation while passing through the prism and get separated from each other. I hope you have understood. So that is the cause of dispersion. So far whatever I have discussed, what you will learn, that deviation suffered by a prism, delta is delta 1 plus delta 2. Then factors on which delta depends, 4 factors I have discussed, I, A, then mu and lambda, all the 4 factors you must learn. Then you will learn what is the definition of dispersion and what is the cause of dispersion. For the cause of dispersion, after writing these three, write down two more sentences that verbally I said, I have not written, but you must write it in the copy. What I said, so the different colors suffer different amount of deviation while suffering refraction through the prism, and as a result all the colors get separated from each other. That is the cause of dispersion. Next topic is spectrum. So when dispersion of white light occurs, then you have seen when you are keeping the white screen, on the white screen you are getting the 7 colored bands separated from each other. Is that clear? That 7 colored band obtained on the white screen due to dispersion of white light is known as the spectrum. Alright. So you must learn the definition of spectrum also. The band of colors obtained on the screen after the dispersion of light is known as the spectrum. Now here, when you are talking of the spectrum, then we are getting 7 colored band on the white screen which you can see, which you can visualize. That's why this spectrum is also known as visible spectrum. Alright. Now, what is light actually? Light is nothing but electromagnetic wave. In the wave chapter 9th standard already you studied that there are two kind of waves, elastic wave or mechanical wave. Another one is electromagnetic wave. So light is an electromagnetic wave. Now not only light is an electromagnetic wave, there are different other electromagnetic waves also, just like gamma ray is an electromagnetic wave, X-ray is an electromagnetic wave, ultraviolet radiation is an electromagnetic wave, infrared radiation is an electromagnetic wave, microwave is an electromagnetic wave, radio wave is an electromagnetic wave. So instead of only arranging the different wavelength according to the wavelength, if you arrange all the electromagnetic waves according to their wavelength, descending order of wavelength or ascending order of wavelength, then you will get the entire spectrum formed by electromagnetic waves, and that is known as electromagnetic spectrum. The simple concept of electromagnetic spectrum is what? The spectrum where we are getting, instead of different colored band, what we are getting? We are getting band of different electromagnetic waves having different wavelength. But one thing you have to remember, when you are considering the wavelength, they are not at all haphazard. Either they will be in increasing order or in decreasing order. Just you consider the example of the visible spectrum. In the visible spectrum, actually visible spectrum is like this. When we obtain it on the screen, the visible spectrum we get like this. Red is up and violet is down. Is that clear? Now if you come to the wavelength, then you see the wavelength of red is maximum. Wavelength of red is 8000 angstrom. And wavelength of violet is 4000 angstrom. And if you consider all the other colors in between red and violet, their wavelength means, if you just consider this, the wavelength is decreasing in the downward direction. Alright. So here you see, in case of electromagnetic spectrum, instead of arranging only the visible part, we have taken all the electromagnetic waves, and how we have arranged here. You see, in this arrangement, gamma is having the highest frequency. I think frequency we have denoted by F. Frequency is maximum and wavelength is, frequency is maximum and wavelength is minimum. So if you consider all the electromagnetic waves arranged in this one, what is happening here? F is decreasing and lambda is increasing. Alright. Any two successive one if you take, then the lower one will have higher value of lambda. Is that clear? Everybody has got? So what is electromagnetic spectrum? The spectrum where all the electromagnetic waves are arranged according to their wavelength or frequency. Alright, now what you have to just, I have written here one example of the electromagnetic spectrum. First is coming gamma ray, then X-ray, UV. UV means ultraviolet ray. Next is coming violet to red, means the visible spectrum. Then coming infrared, then coming microwave, and then is coming radio wave. Alright, so you are supposed to learn this entire thing. Not only learn, you have to retain it till your board exam is over. Alright, so this is a typical example of an electromagnetic spectrum. And don't forget to remember this. And then if you go in the downward direction, then what is happening? Lambda increasing and frequency decreasing. Clear to everybody? Now, here from this chart, you may get a question like this. Just you consider, I have picked up microwave, then I have taken X-ray, then I have taken green, and then I have taken radio wave. Okay, name of 4 electromagnetic wave is given. Then what you will be asked? You have to arrange it increasing order of wavelength. Or it may be asked, you arrange it in decreasing order of wavelength. Then what you have to do? You have to remember this fact. So you see, I have taken micro first, micro, then X-ray, then green, then radio wave. So if I ask that you arrange it in increasing order of lambda, then how will you write? You will write X-ray first, then you will write green, then you will write micro, then you will write radio wave. But if I say that you write down all these 4 in decreasing order of wavelength, alright, then descending order of wavelength, then how you will write? You will write down radio first, then you will write down micro, then you will write down green, then you will write down X-ray. I hope you have understood it. So this is the example of electromagnetic spectrum. Now the common properties of electromagnetic waves present in the electromagnetic spectrum. All of them, they exhibit some common properties and they have special properties also. So today I am discussing the common properties. First common property is that as they are electromagnetic waves, therefore all of them move with same speed. What is the speed? 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second in air or vacuum. Alright, all of them are transverse in nature, because you know that for electromagnetic wave, if electric field is in this direction and magnetic field is in this direction, then the wave move perpendicular to both the electric and magnetic field. That's why electromagnetic waves always, they are transverse in nature. Is that clear? Then as they are electromagnetic waves, as they do not contain any kind of charge, so they do not suffer deflection in electric and magnetic field. Alright. And next one is that when the electromagnetic wave changes the medium, means it moving from one medium to another medium, remember frequency of the electromagnetic wave does not change, but the wavelength as well as speed of the electromagnetic wave, velocity of the electromagnetic wave changes. And as they are electromagnetic wave, therefore while propagating from one point to another, they do not need any medium. Means what? They can move in air, in space also they can move. Alright. So these common properties of electromagnetic waves also another very important topic for your board exam. So you must learn and prepare it. Thank you.